YouTube. Hey, hey, hey. All right. We are back. We are back on. Let me figure out this mic situation. All right. Am I getting through? Mic turned on? Everything good? Let's just do a quick stream check before we get started here. We have a lot to say, a lot to go over. I am excited. Caleb Williams, dude. Mic situation. All right. Nice. All right. Let's do it. What is up? Kodo, here. John, what's up? We won. We still won. The Vikings won. Mic is turned on. Everything's good. I'm here. I'm here. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk Vikings. Let's talk Vikings Bears, which I feel like we had a very good slate of primetime games this week. I think we were a little spoiled. Mic check. A little spoiled. I think these are really good games that we can't get used to. But man, what a week for narratives. What a week for haters. All right. I wanted to start with this headline because this came out. Obviously, this didn't come out just now. This came out, gosh, like an hour ago, give or take, a little less than an hour ago. JJ McCarthy is awful. NFL fans react as Vikings QB struggles early versus Bears on Monday Night Football. Yeah. So Dove Kleiman, everyone's favorite analyst. 3 for 4, 12 passing yards, 1 and 11. Not great. I've seen enough. JJ McCarthy stinks. Can't believe anybody would ever waste a first round on Jage. That's from Rob. That's straight from Rob. Kuwait Thug Rob. Kauai Thug Rob. Ramon. You guys get it. Everybody was mad about Jage. Everybody was ready to talk. Everybody was quick to Twitter. And this is why I don't like streaming games, because I was saying the exact same thing. I assume you were as well. Looked like Giants Danny Dimes in the first half, then Colts Danny Dimes in the second half. Maybe. Banana says Caleb Williams the worst QB drafted in round 1 last year. Maybe. I mean, he's definitely not better than Daniels. He's definitely more inspiring to watch than Drake May. Drake May makes some bad decisions. He's not perfect, but at least you can get behind Drake May. There is something that is so arrogant about Caleb Williams. I've said it before. I told you guys last stream about the socks thing, about how he didn't wear socks for the last preseason game. I don't know why he has like this mission to just look awful. To just, as you can see, my video came out, it did crazy numbers, 112 views. But I want to see if we can pull up these highlights. Let's see if we can find these highlights real quick. We'll watch the highlights and we'll go through the stats as well. But I just want to pull this up really quick to make a point. This is the kind of thing. Where is it? To the crib. Year 2 Caleb, moving different. Moving different, they say. This is a guy that was so bad last year, sacked, I could be misquoting this, 70 times? 75 times? You got to think that the third or fourth offensive coordinator Caleb has had. Yeah, I guess. But at what point do the excuses stop coming? At what point does he get blamed for taking 1 million sacks? At what point does he get blamed for looking bad? What point does he get blamed for wearing this stupid gray shirt that doesn't fit under the jersey? I don't want to be a hater, but if you're going to look like an idiot on the field, you better put on a good game. Peyton Manning was a world-class, just ugly quarterback, and Caleb Williams is giving him a run for his money. Where's number 18, which is not his? Where's this dumb gray shirt, which might sound like a nothing complaint, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit under the jersey. And we talked about the socks thing. You can't keep aura farming and be this bad. He had a clean first drive. We will watch the first drive. Hurts has a new coordinator every year. Yeah. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Yeah, Jalen Hurts has no help. Yeah, none at all. But Caleb Williams had a really good first drive. Goes 5 for 5 and a touchdown. So we'll watch that really quick in full because the NFL was hyping him up. Everybody was hyping him up. Year 2 Caleb Williams, moving different, this video is called. Lines it up. Nice. Pitch and catch. Simple. Okay, we skipped that one. I'm not going to skip through. The NFL cut this one a lot better than they usually do. Nice. Nice and quick. Hey, there's Maddie. Welcome to the chat, Maddie. I don't know if you can hang, girl. Horrendous job. No, and that's for sure. That's for sure. The Bears had a ton of penalties. I'm not going to disagree with you there. But I think the funny thing about it is they also got a pick six. They got a pick six, okay? So this is a great pass. Congratulations, Caleb. This is a really good pass. But outside of this, he missed a lot of balls. He did, especially in the late game. When they went for it on fourth, a couple drives after this, that was crazy. And this is a good drive. This is a clean and good drive. But at a certain point, you have to understand that, like, the game's not over after one drive, guys. So Caleb's having fun. I've never seen a more cocky, I'm not going to swear, but a very cocky quarterback. I got the pumpkin pretzels. Are they good? Are they good? Hey, Maddie. But he's having fun. I'm not anti-fun, but, like, I'm anti this. I'm anti this look. I'm anti this dumb sleeve outfit. Wearing 18 with the arm sleeve and the shirt that doesn't fit, and like he pulled his socks up this time. Like, it sounds like a dumb complaint, but everybody in here, even Maddie, who probably didn't even watch the game, knows that Caleb Williams is the most arrogant dude I've ever seen. And I'm not a Caleb Williams hater by default. I have him in fantasy. I was hoping he would do better. But boy, this dude makes it easy to root against him. Boy, this guy is going to have a lot of negative stuff thrown at him tonight. People are sick of it. So Banana Soul already said it. Worst quarterback drafted in round 1 of last year. I mean, he lost to Jage. So you're kind of like, who's left? Who's left? There was a few impressive plays he wanted DJ Moore. Well, that hospital ball to DJ Moore was kind of nutty. He was under pressure a lot. I will give you that, Jeff. He was under pressure a lot. But a lot of those was him just holding onto the ball. We need quick passes. They should have at least tried for a Hail Mary. I don't disagree. That last play to DJ Moore felt so dumb. You get an illegal formation with 10 seconds left. There was just like, there felt like a lot of energy for that first drive. And then it just slowly tapered. And what did we learn last night? Games are never over until the bell rings. Until the bell rings. The score, it felt so lopsided. The Vikings, I could be wrong on this, I'm pretty sure. The Vikings didn't get a third down until the fourth quarter. They did not succeed on a third down until the fourth quarter. The Bears got a pick six. And this number 1 generational prospect with, I'll say it, I will say it, all the help in the world. A great scheme coach, a solid offensive line that they invested a ton in, 2 quality tight ends, great wide receivers, even though Luther Burden just doesn't exist apparently. I know he didn't play, but still. So many just weird things. And he comes out and he puts on a stinker. Let's be honest. Let's be real. He wasn't good. If Caleb's defense is your QB, if your QB leads your team in rushing yards 90%, there's a problem. I agree, Chris. I agree. Now it's just made it sound like the Bears were up by 40 the entire game. No, exactly. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, I'm always down to rip on them. But at a certain point, it did feel like the momentum was all with Chicago. And then it just slowly kept falling apart, breaking into pieces. And you get to this point where it's just like, what is the identity of this team? If they're going to be this fragile, if they cannot respond to the smallest hint of adversity, how are they ever going to succeed long term? Ben Johnson is facing the Lions next week. That could be a massacre. If DJ Moore's out, that's not a good look. I mean, like, look, I don't know what's going to happen. And if you guys saw my video, it's fourth quarter defense. Like, I'll address that in a second. If you guys saw my video, week 1's a liar. Things change, variables, all that stuff. But at a certain point, you have to look down the line a little bit. This is a second-year quarterback getting not even out-dueled, just disciplined by a guy who's younger than me. JJ McCarthy's, if he was sitting in this room right now, he'd be the youngest man in this room. It's just me in here. And the fact that they couldn't put that game away, it's like, how are you going to ever beat Green Bay? How are you ever going to win a playoff game? If the second things aren't going perfect, you completely crumble. And I want to talk about the fourth quarter defense because, yes, the Bears defense in the fourth wasn't great. But it's the same thing happened with Ravens-Bills last night. If they're on the field the whole game, they're not going to be good. They're going to be exhausted. And it compounds on itself. That's why you have to be really careful with time of possession in the second half. Because if your defense is on the field the whole game, they're going to play worse as they get more tired. And then your offense gets on and goes 3 and out. That means that the other team's defense is resting. And on top of that, your defense is now even more tired. So you have long drive, so they're already gassed. Short drive, so then they get no time to recover. And then they're back out there. And it just steadily builds on itself. And that's why J.J. McCarthy, who I don't think anybody in here thought looked really good, put on at the end there. The most impressive thing he did after the pick six, went down the field and scored a touchdown. Exactly. Daniel Jones, of all people, played way better than Caleb. Yes. Let's talk about Dan Jones for the 90th time. Let's talk about Dan Jones. But you get to a point where it's just like, what is the end game of this team? And it's week 1. There's no sense in overreacting. But I just don't see the willpower. I don't see it. Gosh, I'm yelling now, but at a certain point, like, this game felt stunning. Look at this. The win probability, which is never a good gauge, by the way. This win probability is such a flawed metric. But 94%. 94%. This is a good ball. This is a good ball to Roma Dunze. Like, Caleb did score that last drive. I think we had 2 good drives. And you get to a point, yeah, he didn't look good the whole game, but he looked comfortable in the fourth quarter. And at the end of the day, this is not an impressive box score, right? This is not a good day. A pick six, 143 yards, that's not a good day. But at the end of the day, the only score that matters is this one. The only number that matters is 27-24. That's all that matters. Winners win. Winners win. This guy was born in 2003. 2003, this guy. And he just outgunned the supposed generational prince that was promised, Trevor Lawrence Part 2. Trevor Lawrence Part 2. And he has had every help. I'm not saying they're going to look to Tyson Bagent, but I think a team could much more easily rally behind a guy like Bagent. I've talked about it before, but Hard Knocks Bears really exposed just how arrogant and cocky Caleb Williams is. And I want to say this again. I don't like just randomly hating on players, especially when I don't know these people. It's a crazy claim to say someone that I've never met is arrogant. But I don't care about the nails. I don't care. I care about the shirt. The shirt is so dumb. The fact that people talk about the nails and not the shirt that's under the jersey drives me crazy. The shirt pisses me off, but not because it's like fruity, because it's just disrespectful to the game. Not wearing socks in preseason. What are we talking about? Is it the coaching staff? It's got to be the best in the Bears organization because Justin Fields looked good yesterday. Looked good as a stretch. Justin Fields, he looked good, but he looked good at running the ball mostly. Justin Fields is fast. Justin Fields has juice. It's very fun to root for Justin Fields, but he's also on his third team. So it's not all like, oh, Justin Fields is great all of a sudden. I don't think it's the coaching staff because this is a whole new crew. I will say this. I'll continue to rip on Caleb Williams, don't get me wrong, because at a certain point, the proof is in the pudding. Winners win, and he doesn't win. And the problem is, anybody who thinks the Bears defense is struggled in the fourth quarter is completely justified, completely right. The Bears don't want to invest in the defense because they want to give Caleb every single weapon possible. And I'll say this, if there is something wrong, it is easy to be good on the Jets when all you do is run the ball. I completely agree. What I will say about Caleb Williams and the Bears in general, Ryan Poles is sneakily one of the worst GMs in the NFL. I do think that pretty strongly. This guy got lucked into the first overall pick in an excellent draft class. He had another pick, and he's had all these resources. This is the same guy who traded a second-round pick for Chase Claypool, by the way. This is the same guy who got DJ Moore and what turned out to be the first overall pick in a trade, that one of the most lopsided trades ever, and he was able to save himself from Bryce Young. So everything lined up for this guy. And he drafts Colston Loveland, so he's the tight end 2? You take the tight end 2 on your offense 10th overall? You take Luther Burden, who might not even see the field? It's just Tyson Bagent is better than Caleb Williams. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but he's much easier to root for. And I say root for is relative because from a team perspective, I'm not on the Bears and I've never played organized football past middle school. So I have no credibility in this sense. But what it feels like is, how in the hell is a team ever going to rally behind a quarterback that just folds like a lawn chair in the sight of any adversity at all? I sound like I'm so mad as if Caleb Williams is the Giants quarterback. But you get to a point where it's just like, all this generational stuff. He didn't even win in college. He didn't even win in college. At a certain point, you got to neglect the prospect profile. You got to forget about the tangibles and worry about whether or not the guy can win the game. Drafting like it's Madden Play the Moments. Great pull. Drafting like it's Ultimate Team. Stinky Steven, hey man, congrats on the win yesterday. The Giants beat the Commanders. That really drove me crazy. But I do think Caleb Williams needs some humbling. And that's such like an old head take to make. Like, you got to humble this guy. But it feels like anytime he does well, it's just like, they're not going to show it in the NFL, like at YouTube. But like, he goes to the sideline and he's just like laughing and joking. He's like, we got it. No, we got it. It's fine. It's cool. Who cares? We got it. Screw winning. He can't hit the broadside of a barn. Yeah, no, exactly. Not clutch. He can't win a game. JJ cheated. Maybe. Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, if we want to talk about the sign thing, we can. Look, I wasn't high on JJ McCarthy in college. I thought he was good at handing the ball off, and that's about it. But I will say, he beat the generational prospect. He beat the prince that was promised. He won. And that's all that matters. At the end of the day, you can talk about arm strength and ball placement and mobility and pocket awareness, which Caleb has none of, by the way. Zero pocket awareness. He's good at running around, and he does a lot with his legs, but for God's sake, sit pat and throw it. Stand there and throw it. I feel like the Bears got almost every break in this game besides some penalties, and it just didn't work out. We got a game in Chicago. OMG, what a catch. I want to watch this as well. We're just going to randomly go through stuff that happened. I want to talk about this because this was one of his better throws of the second half. That was one of his better throws. Wide open, mind you. Wide open. Cole Kmet, tight end one, because Colston Loveland's apparently an afterthought. Has to extend, reach out, one-handed grab in all that space. He reminds me of Deshaun Watson on the Texans. I think that's a really good take. I actually really like that take. Play style, that's spot on, except without, like, you know, the good parts. He always panics whenever he's under pressure. He stops looking up, and exactly. He completely abandons on the play, and it's, if you've ever played with, like, someone who doesn't know what they're doing on, like, Madden, that's how Caleb plays. He plays like it's a video game, and not in, like, some fun, like, oh, he's playing like it's a video game. It's easy out there. He plays like it's just, like, who cares? Who cares? And the NFL hypes him up. Year 2 Caleb Williams is looking scary. Like, this was, okay, let's see it. Like, good ball. I don't know about scary. Good ball. Bears defense had a, yeah. I just can't wrap my head around. We all saw the game. We all saw how bad the Vikings offense looked for the first 3 quarters. If you get that bad of a performance and a pick 6 with all this help, all this money invested in the O-line, all this time and draft resources allocated to the wideouts, and like this, people, like, there are plays like this. Caleb Williams figured this play out. Plays like this, the ball should be out. The ball should be out. Caleb Williams is now 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The ball should be out. The ball should have been out. This isn't going to work consistently. Cool spin move. It's not going to work consistently, and that's what we saw tonight. You know what Brian Flores did? He just spammed blitz. He just kept blitzing Caleb. That's all he did. And it worked. It worked. The film is so easy. And again, this is going to sound like a really small nitpick. The Bears have the most guessable count I've ever heard in my life. If Caleb says turbo set, that's the snap. I could guess it. I'm sitting here. I'm not an NFL pass rusher. I'm not right in front of him. After the first, it was a clean spin. It got him an extra 3 yards. What happened on this drive? It ended in 3. And then they didn't score for the rest of the half. So it's like, I'm all over the place, but I just feel like you have a guessable snap count, like a dumbass looking quarterback, and those things don't even matter. But they lost the game, and that does matter. 21 points in the fourth quarter. Just completely outgunned. And up until that last drive, the Bears had -1 offensive yard in the fourth quarter. And you want to tell me about generational talents. And yes, anytime a quarterback leads the team in rushing, it's never a good look. Never. Russ did that yesterday with the Giants. And Swift got 17 carries, by the way. Swift got some work. So, I don't know. I'll give him some credit. He's quicker than I thought he was. That is true. That is true. Defensive players still on the board. Mikael Williams, Kenneth Grant, Jalen Walker, Walter Noron. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Jahdae Barron. God knows they could have needed him. They're down 2 of their best corners. And, like, that is a real excuse. The Bears team isn't bad. The Bears actually have a pretty good squad. But you get to a point where it's like, if your quarterback can't close, if your quarterback can't overcome this, and Penix might actually be better than Caleb Williams. He played better yesterday. We know that much for sure. I forgot Penix was even in that draft class. I'm worried about the Lions this season, but we'll see. We'll see, you know, because the Bears have Detroit next week, right? And what's the opening spread? I wish that, like, stayed up. What was the spread? Where'd it go? Why would it disappear? I really wanted to see that. Where'd the spread go? What the heck? Anyways, I'll look that up later. Wait, maybe we can get it again. Let's see if I can see it real quick. 4.5. 4.5. I'm assuming that's the Bears. 4.5. I don't know where it went. 4.5 is the number. I don't know, dude. I'm worried about the Lions, but the Lions went through so much change. And so did the Bears, to be fair. But look, I trust Jared Goff more than Caleb Williams. I trust David Montgomery more than DeAndre Swift. The receivers are better. The defense is better. So I don't really understand why the Bears are even trying. There was a few plays that didn't look better than Caleb looked last year. But, like, there were a few good plays. There were a few good plays. Like, the box score is not bad. Like, the box score is not awful. What's awful is just his presence. I mean, we're watching that second half. Did anybody here watch that second half and think the Bears are going to go down and score here? They had nothing. No juice. No juice. The Vikings offense looked abysmal. People were talking about J.J. McCarthy being awful. Are we sure J.J. McCarthy can complete a pass 10 yards down the field? They scored 6 points in the first half. But, of course, it's 10-6. It's 10-6. I don't want to compare Caleb Williams to Shedeur. They're very different prospects. But they both just kind of feel like the NFL is a little too, like, you know, it's not enough for them. There's not, like, it's not enough, right? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, I'm frustrated because I want to see good football. And we didn't see that tonight. Straight up. That first drive had me excited. I have Caleb in fantasy. I want him to be good. But he needs to be held to an unfair standard. There needs to be a very high bar for him. Because everything out of college was, this guy is going to be awesome. He's a generational prospect. The Bears are so lucky. They got 2 top 10 picks and a generational QB who won nothing in college and transferred, but he's so good. Trust me, bro. Mel Kiper said he was awesome. In fact, that's what I want to see really quick. That much I want to see. Hunnaball basically talking about aura. I am. Otis, welcome. Hey, man. Shedeur's another player who has terrible pressure to sack ratio, gets overrated because he protects his starts. Exactly. Exactly. I don't trust Goff without a good line. Me neither. But I trust him more than this Bears team. This is what I want to see. This is what we're going to pull up now. And when we might watch the Bears-Vikings highlights, we might. I don't know. I want to see Caleb Williams draft, right? Draft. First of all, draft call. Draft call. We all saw this. Is he mic'd up? Okay, hold on. Let me pause the music really quick. This is very important. Everybody stop. This is very important. Let me pause the music. No more fun, all right? Let me make sure this is, like, getting through.
Hello?
Who's this?
Yeah.
Who's this?
Laughing and joking. They're allowed to have fun. The two most inept people in Bears history. The two most, like... the two most overrated people in the franchise's history.
Man, how you doing?
I'm good.
They told me to hold it for. They told me to hold it for 5 minutes. I told everyone I've been holding it for a month.
5 months. I've been holding for 5 months.
Love it.
Yeah. Be confident.
Right, I'm gonna pass you over to Coach. And,
be confident.
Warren, and we'll
That's
put the
cool.
pick in
I'm not anti-confidence.
Not in 5 minutes,
but you get to a point where it's just like.
All right.
You can't be this confident and suck.
My guy.
You can't be this confident and get outdueled by a quarterback who we weren't sure could throw a first down.
I'm for you that you realize your dream of being the first pick in the NFL draft. That's so cool.
We all saw the Hard Knocks clip where he said, "I don't get nervous."
But I'm more excited about.
He doesn't get nervous because he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Our journey together, and I love you, and God bless you. And here's Kevin Warren wants to speak to you too. Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
I'll see you, and I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
See you tomorrow.
Look, this isn't exactly the revealing tape that I saw. The point is that Hard Knocks, man. Hard Knocks made him look like such a dweeb. Hard Knocks made him look like such a fool, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It did. And we got a game in Chicago. The most obvious out of bounds, by the way. The most obvious no score right here. Let me respond to what you guys are saying. I hate when I ignore the chat.
Saves it.
Let me pull this up. But yeah, I'm going to turn the music on again. But you guys get it. It's just, we all saw it. We all know who we're working with here. We are not dealing with Mr. Humble. And like in the age of NIL, you don't need to be like humble, get in line, son. But you also can't suck when you're the first overall pick. Bryce Young didn't look good at all. Bryce Young deserves every bit of criticism going towards him. But at least Bryce Young is like, I tried, I'm sorry, guys. Bryce Young's 5'9". He's trying to just get out there. Anyways, here we go. My Browns are getting... Okay, let me read all these. If the Giants pictured he'd average 8 sacks a game. Well, he wouldn't get on the field, but yes. Arch Manning was asked. Exactly, good call. Yeah, that's a good call as well. So, I don't want to say the same thing's going to happen with Arch. Generational prospect needs to be walked back by everyone in the media. I got to go through these messages quicker. They have bigger issues. Paul said the Bears were going to take the North and never give it back. He's been at the bottom ever since. Exactly. His confidence feels scripted. Exactly. I feel like trade Amon-Ra away on my fantasy team. How easily Goff can fold the pressure right now. Yeah, but Amon-Ra's a PPR machine. Daniels is the only quarterback to ever have such pressure in the sack ratio in college and completely overcome it in the NFL. He's a perfect example of good QB development. Exactly. Matt Eberflus on my screen. Exactly. Matt Eberflus isn't a good coach. All right, I'm not going to say he is. But Caleb Williams treated him like some dweeb. Caleb Williams barely gave him the time of day. And it's like, okay, you can be mad. You can have a bad coach. Hugh Jackson was a bad coach with Baker Mayfield. But at a certain point, you have to overcome that. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I do think that Ben Johnson has a longer leash than Caleb Williams. As it stands today, Ben Johnson has a longer leash than Caleb Williams. Okay? I guess I should just turn the highlights on and just let those go instead of just pause on these frames. So let's do that. Let me just pull up the highlights. We'll go through them now. Hawkinson. There it is. J.J. McCarthy's best plays. Long video. It's a minute 40. It's a minute 40. Definitely not going to watch the whole thing, but I just want to pull this up as I talk and rant. If I was guaranteed millions, I probably wouldn't care anymore either. And yes, and that's the thing about NIL. That's the real thing. By the way, welcome to the chat, Muhammad. How about those Commanders? Congrats. Yeah, I'm really happy about it. Bryce Young's in a much tougher situation. Music is really loud. Good call. I forgot to turn that down. Good call. The only generational guys were Burrow and Luck, and I wouldn't even call Burrow generational. He had one good year in college. Obviously, Burrow's really good. I'm not going to say he had one good year. Burrow's really good, but I wouldn't say he was generational. He was a good first overall pick, for sure. I really appreciate John calling out the music there. That saved me. I always do shit like that. But that's the thing. And it's and we watched this drive already, but Caleb was cooking. He steps up in the pocket. That's a good throw. It's a good ball. It's a good ball, but that's not the kind of thing. These are good throws, but they're not elite throws. And that's not on Caleb's fault. Take the underneath, take what you can get. But this is just like Dan Jones throwing it open. Take what the defense gives you. That's fine. But the whole point of being a generational prospect, the whole point of being this guy with a crazy arm and all this talent is so you can let it rip. It's so you can make the tight window throws. It's so you can step up in the pocket and zip one deep. They didn't even have a chance. Burrow had Romo comps coming out. And yeah, and Romo was undrafted. So there you go. Yeah, and Burrow deserves all the credit. Burrow, I would say Burrow was a generational rookie QB, but not a generational prospect. That's where I draw the line there. I would say he was a generational rookie QB. Same thing goes for Justin Herbert. I wouldn't call him same draft class. Same thing goes for CJ Stroud. Wasn't the first quarterback taken. Not a generational QB, but generational at winning. It's the Charlie Sheen interview. I'm by winning. I'm generationally winning. That's the pull. That's the pull. Because the Vikings, like, this offense was insane. That was way after he came into the league, though. Coming out, he's one of the greatest college teams. No, for sure. That LSU team was sick, by the way. We all know that, but that LSU team was awesome. That was a bummer. Also, Jage loves the somersault. Jage loves the somersault. I do think that's funny. He somersaulted multiple times this game. I thought that was funny. Like, good run. Good run. I got to hand it to him. But let's face facts here. Let's face facts. If he got sacked here, it would have been on him. It would have been on him for not throwing it quicker. It's just not inspiring football to watch some guy sit there and wait until some receiver, wait 8 seconds until a receiver's wide open. I'm sure the PFF stats aren't there now, but I think according to something I read, Caleb Williams had the third most time to throw. Like anticipated time to throw. Not like as in time, like it's hard to describe. I don't mean like he had a bunch of time that the O-line last year was super good, but I mean that he held it the third longest out of QBs. At a certain point, sacks are a QB stat, especially when it's on the quarterback to pick up blitzes. That is a real thing. Herbert was not drafted as a generational prospect. No, I'm not saying he was, but a generational rookie. Really great rookie season, turning the franchise around. In order to be great, you have to turn the culture. And that's what I'm hoping Jay Dart can do for the Giants. We don't know yet. I'm not going to talk about the Giants too much because it's going to make me mad. But at a certain point, you just have to, like, see the writing on the wall. Also, this Vikings backfield is going to be such a headache for fantasy. Just want to say. But there are no highlights for the Vikings. There are no, like, great plays here. Run, pass. He got great agility, but he never leverages. Exactly. That's much better than I put it. It's much better than I put it, Steven. He's got great mobility, but he never leverages it he never actually leverages it for anything other than some 10-yard scramble. And the Vikings like grind their way down the field. That ball hit the ground. They take their 3. They move on. We know he made it. We know he made the kick. And this is something I want to pull up. I don't know if this was Caleb Williams' decision or not. We'll cut ahead. Bears drove down the field. Nice, good throw, Caleb. Yeah. This is the NFL. They posted that. They were like, Caleb Williams, year 2 is looking dangerous. Yeah, wow, what a dangerous tight window throw that was. I completely agree, Steven. Best thing for Dart is not to play. I mean, I don't agree about the awful coaches. I think Dable can develop him. I don't know if he can do anything else, but I think he can develop him. But 18 does need to come back. Go Giants. Again, we just saw this. We just saw this, right? He scrambled. Good for Caleb, right? Congratulations, buddy. Good spin move. You deserve credit for a Swifty spin move. I mean, it's impossible to tackle quarterbacks with all the flags flying, but good spin move, buddy. Got an extra few yards. Okay. Let's see this. This was a straight miss. Straight miss. Awful pass. Caleb Williams had 1 goal. It was get DJ Moore hurt. He had 1 goal tonight. They didn't show it. They didn't show it. You might notice that the score stayed the same. Because on 4th and 3, on the 23-yard line, 24-yard line, the Bears go for it. And if you watch the game, Caleb Williams looks at the fans or the camera or something very visible and goes, yeah. For what? For what? It got copyright struck? No! The NFL, god damn it. All right, paused. It's paused. It stopped. The NFL's so annoying. It stopped. I paused it. It's paused, NFL. Good call. Good call. I'm not doing another copyright strike. Fuck. What do I do? Shit. Am I back? Shit. They always do this. It's suspended. It's off. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Am I back? Am I back on? I'm not trying to do this tonight, NFL. I'm not trying to do this. Don't screw me here, NFL. I'm not trying to do this. Am I back on? Oh my God. Great. What is going on? Oh my God. Great. This is going to be a copyright strike. Oh my Lord. The NFL is so fucking annoying. Ugh. Oh my God. They always do this shit. They always fucking do this. Great. Great. Ugh. My God. They make this so fucking confusing, dude. I fucking knew it. As soon as the stream gets rolling, no less. Am I back? Am I on now? Am I on? I can't tell. I'm like freaking out. The NFL's copyright stricken me before. I'm not trying to do this shit. It says, like, I see myself watching the stream. I can't tell what the hell's going on. I don't know if I'm on. The problem is that, like, I see you guys draw on the screen, make it your own fair use. I get that. I started another one, so I don't understand how the stream's still going through. I don't really get this. I'm an old man. I don't understand. I see my own unlisted stream now. Look, I'm just going to assume if you guys are putting in the chat, I'm scared, right? I don't see the chat. Like, my OBS is, like, freaking out right now. I'm just going to sit pat, all right? We're not watching any more highlights tonight. We're not watching any more highlights tonight. All right. All right. The fact that I'm back is a good sign. Thank you guys for letting me know that the stream was paused, all right? Because the NFL's gotten me many times with the stupid copyright strikes, and I'm not doing it again. I'm not going to get banned again for watching highlights that are posted on the internet. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. The NFL puts that dumb warning there ahead. They're like, oh, any undisclosed use from the NFL is, prohibited, all that shit. And it's like, well, what's the point? What's the point, dude? What am I stealing profits from the NFL by watching these highlights? Is that what's going on now? So now I'm confused. It says an unlisted stream. Who the hell even knows? Who the hell even knows what's going on right now? I'm very confused. But I'm just going to keep going. And if I get shut down, get free Hunnaball going. Get that fucking trending. But I'm mad. I'm trying to figure this out. We'll pull up the stats. Oh boy. Hate that. Absolutely hate that. It says your new stream is upcoming. That's why I'm confused, because I started a new stream, but it's upcoming. And then I don't know how you guys are even in here, because I delisted the other one. So I don't even know what's going on. And if you go on my channel, neither of them are up. So let me just